Yeah, this is one of the things is I got a 4K screen it's the first time I have my desktop totally fitting on my desktop. So I've hit F1 here. This is the CoSy environment, so F1 is standard as help. Two most important keys are F6. Well, actually, it varies between whether it's F6 or F11, because this is my log, my Captain Picard's log. So putting down timestamps can be that's what you take to court. But F6, you'll see if I just hit an enter and I'll hit that, it just, it's a notebook, it just returns carriage. If I hit F6 instead, it evaluates the line and expects a CoSy object result, a CoSy list result. Shift F6 will go and just execute in native, in Forth that it's built in. And one other thing I'll point out, because I'll hit it, is Control F9 will go and pull up a web a link. So, like for instance, these I won't click those, but one of the things I want to emphasize is CoSy is just simply a vocabulary in Forth, and actually it will get an awful lot cleaner when it gets moved to some fresh Forth. It's built in Riva, and this interface, this IUP interface, both of these, I mean, in a sense, it's in x86, because essentially to have a stable platform to go and do the, I come from the APL and K world. And the thing is, Forth is, which are all written in C, essentially. And Forth is the only language in which you can create language word by word. And that gives this CoSy has flexibility no other APL can handle. And one mantra I like is sort of, the code is the theory. So I mean, you can go and have various ideas, but a good example of that is actually, this is something that works really well. All indexing is modulo. So one of the things, you never have things out of bounds. You'll see examples of that. Another thing I should point out is that I'm just incredibly ignorant of anything standard CoSy. When I left Fortran for APL about 1975, when they got APL on 6600 on CDC. And I don't even, and C hadn't yet come in, so I skipped that. For anything, I hit F6 that and doesn't do that, but I meant to hit Control F9. Yeah, here's my website, CoSy.com, and you can see I have blogs that I put out. But one of the things actually, I found I did get on GitHub, and there is a GitHub, but from my perspective, GitHub is so complicated and so forth. I just have a simple directory and on my website, and essentially all of the code is in here, and there's a zip that you should be able to anyway, go there, etc. One of the things is mentioning for Control F9 again. I tried to get to 2018. Because one of the things is I wanted to go down through the Valley of Liddesdale. Is where half my genes come from, so I was very curious to do that. But I got my card, I don't think, yeah, this won't, I got my ticket online and it ended up being in the name Bob instead of Robert E. And in any case, I spent the night in Denver airport and I still have not recovered the $700, the $780 to get there. Just, and I'll just touch on this. I now am setting up, well, I've got the link here, but the language is extremely simple. And I'm setting that up now so you have a whole directory and so forth. But to get to the language itself, there's a 3-cell header. And I've said that this tick construction, left tick goes and simply returns the word after it. For instance, here I've got, this is actually one of the, I don't know what I know, it's a fragment of a line. So it just restarts on failure. I wanted to hit this line, whoops, which should not have bombed. But this is, again, let me go and clean, tick. Yeah, that just simply returned the string. This is a list form of the same sort of idea. But this is what the headers are on any object. And so those are the first 3 cells in a CoSy list. And let me, text, for instance, is a list of all the text that's in here. And let me go and show. Here, this gets into the APL level. The left tick goes and returns a string. Tick, of course, is brilliant. Fourth and eval, and this is one of those things from APL. Tick R is do whatever's on the left, whatever the text here, do it for each one of the items in here, and this is eval. So if I execute this, we see that text is type 1, which is 1 byte character. It happens to be 200,000 characters long in this window. And there's one reference to it. The reason why I went and this, by the way, this fourth syntax, the simplicity of it is just a tremendously greater flexibility than what you have in APL or K or anything that tries to be more clever. But there, I just went, now it's stored this as T1. I actually looked up this word and what colon question mark does is it returns any occurrence in any of the standard scripts of the word, and so you see the definition of F2I goes and I wanted to see that it applied to each. So here's a little bit of a numerical example of 20 iota. This is the ability. Vertical bar is comment. And so that's the first 20 numbers. And this is an integer vector 4, 5, and take. And so if I go to here, I've got the integer thing, and I wanted to check that integer to floating was what's called an atomic applies. It goes out to all the leaves because this is a list of 4 items, and this is list each. I've got it, each of which is 5 long. So it goes out to those leaves, those actual integer lists, and because it's type anyway, I'll skip that. Major things to do, and everything's in a dictionary, and a dictionary is a list of 2 lists, the first of which is names and the second of which is values. So everything is in a directory, a root directory. All of these things are nodes. All of like text is a node I'll skip that. But the real thing that needs to be done is changing making a web interface, because then the whole thing can be put out as an app and all of that. In some ways, actually, it's important. The vocabulary actually goes even above APL in a sense. And I've got this blog now because I'm sort of addicted to news feeds. And the code to go and convert from, here's the raw text that goes into there. And the few lines of CoSy go and turn it into, go and put the tags on the HTML that are needed. I'll skip that, and just one of the things though that probably is worth showing is for editing files. This is my log. This is obviously results, and this is sort of like static state memory. So there are lines, because I can F6 any line. It's like everything is a menu. But I wanted to show that my standard way of going and editing here. This is the whole main. This is the main CoSy code. So I'll skip that, and whoops, I was actually what I wanted to do. Hit F11, and I'll see whether 51, okay, 15 minutes I took.
Wonderful, Bob. Thank you. Do you want to show something else? Sorry, did I interrupt you?
Yeah, no. I was trying to go, and what do I have to do to return?
Yeah, just go there. Okay.
Oh,
Bob, thank you very much.
Got a question.
Yes, exactly. Let me start with the first question. It's always amazing what CoSy can do. How far along are you with the web interface?
With what?
You mentioned that you would make it a web interface so that it can be used as an app.
Oh, CoSy needs more minds. I'll go back to this, my being incredibly ignorant of anything, of anything outside. There is, let me go to CoSy main page, because I scroll down here. This was, I didn't realize that's a link to a great old professor of mine, but I think, it's his quote, because the fish scale model of collective omniscience, and it's, CoSy is a scale here, or a cluster of scales, but some of the scales that are outside, I mean, what I don't know is infinitely greater than what I know. And it's more important to get other minds involved who actually, in a weekend, bottom line, somebody who knows how to do this, I think we can sit down in a weekend, make a tolerable web interface. The main thing is that obviously you essentially want it to be a WYSIWYG interface.
Mm-hmm.
And because I should point out that I do everything this is where having a practical vocabulary, an awful lot of it's about slicing and dicing text. But again, it's just the array, the list of lists structure, which you can easily, like in that I to F function.
Right.
This is, yeah, that's just a fourth function. You stick it in here, and now your fourth word goes and can be applied across entire arrays of information.
Very cool.
So,
any further questions to Bob? Okay, I don't see any questions. I can only encourage you to follow Bob. I'm also on his newsletter, and I'm always interested in what the new stuff he comes up with. Although I have to admit I don't understand all of it, but it's always really interesting.